Good afternoon, everybody. Back once again. Want to discuss men today, and got a special guest with me today. We're gonna be sharing her thoughts as well. My little sister, Sonia, and we're gonna be discussing men shutting down when they're going through something or when life is hard. And I don't know what has gotten men to the point to where they shut down when things are rough, when things are tough. When I don't know if women have gotten men to the point where they feel like they can't discuss when they're going through something with a woman, their significant other. But it shouldn't be like that. When men are going through something, you shouldn't have to just shut down and get out to yourself and not communicate. Even the communication in relationships, men will shut down, will get out to themselves, and it's not the answer. It doesn't help. It doesn't make things better. And so we're just going to be kind of discussing our thoughts and what we think. What do you think, sis?
I don't know. I actually want to know, why do y'all shut down? Like, what is it? You may be afraid of something. You may not know how to communicate it the right way. Why do y'all shut down, or why do you not communicate, trying to get an understanding of what's going on with you, or whatever the case may be?
A lot of times what I've seen and what I've heard, say like y'all have a disagreement. And instead of communicating about it, instead of talking about it, instead of sitting down like adults and having a dialogue and say, well, hey, I feel like you're not listening to me, or I feel like you don't understand where I'm coming from. Whatever the case may be, whatever the issue is, sitting down, having a conversation like two adults normally can resolve issues instead of just shutting down and pulling back. Because what'll happen is if you shut down and pull back, she might be stubborn too. So then if she shut down, you shut down, both of y'all shutting down, y'all not getting nowhere. You're not talking, he's not talking. And so now you're at a point where nobody's communicating. And that just really makes the situation worse. It doesn't help. It doesn't make it better. That's for sure. And so I think men should be more open and understanding and be able to, first of all, you got to have a partner that you can sit down and talk to and have a conversation with. Because a lot of people...
I think you should already know that, especially if you already been in this relationship.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that should have been understood from the jump.
Okay.
As far as when we go through something, or communicating, period, should be the number one thing in our relationship. Communication. Communication, if nothing else. Because once you get an understanding of what's going on, then I think things can move forward.
Okay. But what if when you got in a relationship with this person, y'all never had an issue to where you could see, and I'm going to back up, because you should know from a jump, or you should know from the jump, whether a person is going to be a communicator or not, whether a person is going to be a person that's not going to talk much. Because those are red flags.
Yeah, but once again, I think when you start to date somebody, because you don't know off top, if this person know how to communicate, if this person likes to communicate, if this person may have had issues with communicating with somebody and she ruined it for him, or vice versa. So when they feel like it's time to communicate, they shut down.
Okay.
It's just that I think that women too, I think that you should go for it, because everybody is not the same. You cannot think that because you're a past relationship, whoever you were with, you couldn't communicate with that person. If you don't have communication, you don't have nothing. And I think that brings more issues. And like I said, from the jump, that should be something that both of you guys should, whenever we go through something, babe, we need to communicate.
Yeah. But here's the thing though, sis, because I feel like a lot of people don't do that from the jump. I'm a person who, I have questions when I get in a relationship with somebody. And so I have this list. And this list is things that I want to know about a person to know if I want to even date that person, if I want to even move forward with that person. And if they answer those questions and I come across, are you a communicator? Are you an honest person? Do you like to talk? Are you a person? And then they tell me no, or and the answer is not what I want to hear, I won't even move forward. See, a lot of people don't even get to know a person before they get in a relationship with them. And this causes a lot of chaos and issues from the beginning. Because if you are that person who's going to shut down and not talk to me, or when we're going through something, or when we're making a big decision in a relationship, we can't sit down and communicate with each other, we can't even sit down and talk, it's a problem. It's going to be a problem off the jump, because now we can't even come to a mutual agreement about something or discuss something because you not a communicator. You don't want to sit down and talk.
Yeah, but like if we sit down and we having this conversation and we trying to get to know each other, and you say I'm not a communicator, okay, boom, right then and there, that's something we need to start working on, like as we move forward.
Right. So if you want to be with that person anyway.
So if you have an issue, okay, I can come to you and say, okay, well, babe, let's sit down and talk about this. Like, we have to learn how to communicate this, whatever it may be. We have to. If not, then what are we doing?
Absolutely. And the whole thing for me is, men, don't shut down. You should have a person that you can sit down and talk to when you're going through something, when you're troubled about something. That person should be able to comfort you, to be able to make it better, to talk you through it, to help you through it, to tell you, baby, hey, I got you. I got your back. I'm riding with you. I'm riding with you, whatever the situation may be, whatever's bothering you. And I get some people are naturally people who just pull back and get away from everything, because I do that sometimes, where I pull back if I'm working on something or if I'm doing something, because I need to think some things through, or because I need to figure some things out. Doesn't mean that I won't communicate with the person I'm with, and they're gonna know, hey babe, I'm dealing with something, and most times the reason people even pull back and do that is because they feel like they don't have nobody, or because they feel like they can't trust somebody, or because they feel like the person is not there for them. So then they pull back and just get away from everything and just work on themselves and get themselves together. And I get there's times in your life where you do have to get away from everything and everybody. But if you're in a relationship with somebody, that's not an option. If you're talking to somebody, you're married, you're in a relationship, y'all together, you shouldn't pull off and pull back and just become this person that's not communicating and talking.
Right. I think that's something that should be done with the both of y'all.
Right.
It should, come to an understanding of, even if you can't talk right now, okay, in the next 30 minutes or next something, you need to come up with it.
Yeah.
We need to talk about it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I don't think days, I don't think hours should go by. But everybody's different. But with me, you got to come on with it.
Yeah.
Like within an hour. Like, yeah. We got to talk about it.
And I'm definitely a big person on, we're not going to bed mad at each other.
No. Because
life is too short. What if one of us don't wake up in the morning, or something bad happens or anything, and then you sitting up here, you're going to bed mad. You're going to wake up that same way. You're going to live in that. A lot of people be in relationships where the relationship is dead, it's over with, and they stay. And they just deal with this toxic relationship, this toxic behavior. It's not healthy. Life's too short. And I just feel like we as grown adults need to start communicating more. We need to start talking more. You got to get to a point where you change some things. And if not, you're going to forever be in this position where you're going through life with this same old dialogue, with this same old person, and you're not growing physically, mentally, or emotionally, or spiritually for that matter. But nobody should feel like, especially men, that they have to shut down because they don't have nobody in their corner. And if you are with somebody and you feel like that, and you feel like the person is not there for you, or you can't talk to them, they won't have your back, you might be with the wrong person. You might not even need to be with that person. I definitely wouldn't want to be with nobody that I can't talk to when I'm going through something, that I feel like they're not going to understand, or I feel like they're not going to be there. I want somebody that's going to ride with me through the mud, through the good, through the bad, through the ups and the downs. Right. I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, I feel absolutely. I feel the same way. Because like I said, if you can't talk to me, what are we doing? What are we going to get accomplished by us being mad at each other, not talking to each other, not trying to figure out what happened and how we can get this done?
Absolutely. And so I just want to tell the men out there, even if it's not the person that you with, you should know or have somebody in your corner that you can go to and talk to, or that you can just go to for help. And I think that's the problem. I hear men feel like they don't have nobody they can talk to. They don't have nobody that's gonna be in their corner and help them. They don't have nobody that is really truly gonna ride with them through something and understand something and be like, hey babe, I got you. Whatever it is, whatever you're dealing with, I'm here with you. Give me the opportunity and the chance to be there for you. Give me the opportunity to show you that I got your back.
Right.
And so I feel like that's something that needs to be talked about more often. That's something, I mean, I don't want to be with nobody that I can't talk to. And I damn sure don't want to be with a man that feel like he can't talk to me, or I'm not going to be there for him, or whatever the case may be. And, you know, along those same lines, women have to be more understanding and have their men's backs. Your man shouldn't feel like he can't come to you and he can't talk to you. There's so many toxic relationships out here and so many toxic behaviors that needs to be changed. Learn to communicate better. Learn to communicate with your man. Let your man know you got his back. And if you don't, let that man go. Because somebody will. Somebody would most definitely have his back and be willing to be there. And I think the narrative needs to change when it comes to men shutting down on their women, shutting down on their families. Men go through a lot. They do. They go through a whole lot. And really, it shouldn't be no differential treatment between men and women, but men feel that way. Women make men feel like they're more important than men. That's not the case. Men are just as important as women. Just as important as women. And I think it's time that you let your man know that you do appreciate him and you do have his back. But he has to be willing too.
Has to be.
So that's the talk with your girl today. Until next time, y'all be blessed.